I've just found out that my microphone has been muted the whole time. How lovely. Well, welcome to Track Stars Tonight. We're lap 2 of 43 around a very wet Suzuka at the Japanese Grand Prix. Pat Trafford leading the way for a 1-2 for Match Spuds Racing. Close behind Ando in the WTCR machine. I must say, the WTCR cars have been quite competitive. Oh! And I think that's a spin. I think that's Mr. Picasso in the mud. The one and only viable strategy in this race tonight is to survive. If you don't survive, well then you're clearly gonna finish down the order or have a rough day, as Mr. Pitasso's finding out side by side or around the outside of the hairpin to go through into fourth. That was quite the move that we caught there. Around the outside of Race Pig in the Robosport racing car. A rookie to the series, but quite a quick driver in his own right. And in 6th, round 130R is the second of the WTCR cars. Strongly in the top 6. And there's our first fastest lap of the race. Mr. Trappy with a 158. Oh. Now I didn't see that, but looks like the team leader at Mass Buds Racing has front wing damage, and he probably inherited that when he touched the wall from his spin. Not a start to the race, but he definitely has the pace to catch up, and looks like the safety car is wandering around. He should be in the pits, but yeah, we'll let that slide. Meanwhile, the other Mass Bud car enjoying a 6-second lead now. That is quite dominant already, and it's only been 3 laps. Meanwhile, further down the field, thank you to German Dalits for giving me the keys to the stream for tonight. I'll try my best. But in the meantime, Mr. Dalits, Mr. Trackstars himself, wandering around in 8th position. Oh. Matt Campbell losing a place to the other It's Racing car, piloted by John Shepard. Looks like Matt Campbell and John Shepard are using the overtake quite early in this race. And I must say, I think overtake is going to be quite important in this race because, well, considering it's wet, I believe most drivers will go for a very high downforce setup to make sure those wheels stay in contact with the road. And that overtake, using that overtake button will definitely overcome that heavy downforce that's loading all these cars through these lovely S's, and hopefully gain a few positions along the way. All the cars seem to be on the wet tire. No one's being brave and trying out the medium, as Mr. O'Shea in the CP Motorsports car takes second place. Maybe that was a slowdown that Ando inherited for maybe cutting the course, but he was very slow out of the hairpin there. And all the while with this battling, Pat Rapid is pulling away, nearly 10 seconds away. I mean, put your estimate in the comment section. How many seconds is Pat gonna dominate by? Oh, and we've got a commenter. Thank you, Brian. I'm trying my best. I'm no professional commentator like you, but we'll see how we go. It's all steady formation flying throughout the field, it seems. Everyone is just trying to stay on the road. Oh, a bit of a wiggle there that we managed to catch there. Lap times. They're varying, but oh no, that's Mr. Potasso in the mud again, in the wall. Oh, unfortunate that I had to capture that moment. I think it would have been better if he shone the camera away, but yeah, not ideal. Not the most ideal 5 laps for Mr. Nick Potasso. And you'll definitely have to pit again to fix that front wing for sure. Otherwise you're just losing time. You'll just lose performance, you'll lose that downforce. You won't get anywhere without the front wing. Small battle pack over here. 6th to 8th. Even 9th possibly. If Milky can make his way up to the back of this train. Now one little detail that I didn't realize is these SF19 cars have their rain lights on, as you do in the rain, but I thought they were using overtake for the whole time, but no, the rain lights are on, and for a good reason, as Matty Campbell, getting squirrely. Oh, look at that. Around the outside for Jarman Dalit. Go up into 6th place. That was a very good opportunistic move. And it definitely paid off. But with all this fighting, the gaps are getting bigger. The pace possibly dropping off, and Pat Trappett 12 seconds ahead in front. Dominant lead. Fast lap as well, 57.8. He's on blistering pace, and look at that consistency. 58.8, 58.2, 58.3, And he goes even faster, 57.8. It looks like he's quite unstoppable tonight. And we're only 7 laps in. Oh boy, it's gonna be a long race. So, it's a Mass Bud leading the way. CP Motorsports with O'Shea in second. Ando reliably in third. Ward for the RSR car traveling in fourth. Von Duve, the other WTCR car, in fifth. Mr. It's Racing himself going through the field up in sixth place. Probably the biggest mover of the field at the moment. He's up 3 places from where I believe he started 9th on the grid. Another bell pack, and another place loss for Matt Campbell against another It's Racing car, Wilkie. It seems doppelganger Matt Campbell is finding grip in those tires in those wet conditions. Maybe there's a differing philosophy of setup there that he was looking at, but you never know. You never know what setup these guys use unless you ask them, and if you ask them, they're all in their right to not really give you an answer. That's part of the fun, part of the competition. Make your car as fast as possible. Try and tame that really fast car. But it seems the order of the day is just try to survive and keep on the road. Which, well, you know, most of these guys are doing well. They keep you on the road, despite the varying pace throughout the field. Whoa. I do know for a fact that Nick Patasso, he is on a controller. Maybe that's, you know, not ideal in these wet conditions to be on a controller. Flicking the stick left, flicking the stick right, and trying to overcorrect those oversteery moments when you're losing grip. It's definitely a struggle, but he's definitely quick, but he needs to keep on the road for sure. Try and get that consistency that his teammate is reliably providing up in first. 15 seconds already. And we're not even the quarter of the race distance. I'm just in awe of their consistency. 58s, 57s. He's just collecting them like trading cards. O'Shea, his pace is thereabouts, but it's definitely not in the 58s. Like Pat Trafford's somehow managing to pull out from this very slippery Suzuka circuit, it seems. But It's quite close. Ando is getting closer. It's getting closer to O'Shea. Might be a battle in the later stages. But, oh, you've got a battle here in the meantime. RSR versus WTCR. Round the outside. And through goes Wade. Vonduv into fourth, powering his way through. And that would make a 3-4 for the WTCR cars at the moment. I must say they're quite the surprise of the season. Being the strongest team, consistently up there in the top 6, consistently scoring points, and I believe they're very high in the teams championship. Second, if my thinking is right, but yeah, they're definitely up there. They're definitely reflecting the real life circuit of the F1, with Aston Martin coming up from out of nowhere in the season opener. It seems they're pulling in Aston Martin and somehow finding their way up the field with a good pace and good consistency. I must say though, it's quite the wet parade at the moment. Everyone is just trundling around, although we've got old mate over here. Possibly is right up the back, and so is Nick. He's right up the back as well. Quite the bell tack. Oh, squirrely indeed. Let's get on board. See if Patasso can make up those places that he's lost so dearly in what is only a quarter of the race distance. Oh, look at that. Around the outside. Just grazing the marbles. Oh, a little bumpy. A little bit of netcode. Oh, just squeezing it around the outside and sticks it to the inside. Quite the move there. Quite the move. It seems whenever I look over at Mr. Nick Patasso, there's always some sort of action, which is good to see. Looks like Jarman's in the pits, and he's got damage. Not ideal. Most likely spin out, spinella. But new sets of wet tires, nothing too risky. Doesn't look like anyone's gonna try the inters. Yeah, it just looks too wet at the moment. I'm not sure if there's a compulsory pit stop, but if there is one, well, I know for certain Jarman, Dalitz and Nick Patasso have done the pit stop duty, if there is one, which I don't know because I don't read the driver's briefing. And that's alright, because I'm just here to talk over the action tonight. Jarman having a look. He's having a look as Breda very securely out of the hairpin. But Jarman's having a look, and oh, that's a big crash for the ICER car there. Perhaps something similar Jarman did, which we didn't see, but yeah, definitely very easy to lose these cars if you're not on it really. If you put too much power, you know, the wheel spins a lot, and with plus water, the wheel spins a lot more, and you just spin it out like that. It's the equation for spinning. But yeah, the ICER car definitely will have to box this lap. He's not gonna be any quicker with that damage for certain. Let's have a look. Oh my, 22 second really. Let's be honest, 22 seconds, you know, that's a really dominant gap. And yet again, look at those times on the right side. Just 58s, 57s, like he's manufacturing it at a factory. It's just unbelievable how consistent Patch Rapid is. Because the rain, I mean, it should be unpredictable, you know. The rain, you know, it's wet. You don't know where the grip is. You try to find that grip. But you can see as you go on board with Pat, it's not really apexing those corners. I mean, because I'm assuming he's trying to avoid the racing line. Now with the racing line, there's rubber on it, and when you add water to that rubber, it becomes very slippery. Now into the Degners, you can't really avoid the racing line. You just have to take it as it is, face value, try and survive through that corner. But looks like the Belgian driver has been lapped, first of the lapped cars. Yeah, Pat, he's probably pulling away. And you know, if you had to have a spin or an accident, I mean, it wouldn't matter, because he has 22.2 seconds of gap time, of lead time, of dominance. Well, looks like Nick Patasso didn't even notice, but he's put in a blend of a lap. Oh, like a loose cannon. 157.134. Very quick. Looks like he's clawing back that consistency that his teammate has. Couple of 58s, 57.1. 2 minutes and 2, probably a bit of a moment on that lap. 57.8, 57.9. I mean, if he keeps up the consistency, I have no doubt in my mind that he'll possibly make up a couple of places. Ando is keeping that gap. He's keeping that consistent 2-second gap behind O'Shea. Maybe just, you know, just trundling along, conserving those tires, waiting for the right time to drop the hammer. I mean, after all, we're only 14 laps in this race. I mean, there's certainly a long way to go. I must say though, despite the very nice looking liveries, it seems I've been caught out. Milky is in the WTR car, not its racing car. I mean, there's a lot of green cars on the grid this year. I must apologize. The MSR teammate to Pat Trappit, a whole 1 minute off the lead. Dumping that overtake along the back straight into 130R. I mean, what can I say? Every time we look at Nick, there's always something happening. Matt Campbell is closing the gap right behind Patasso. It's a shame because Patasso was definitely on for a flyover lap. Would have gone a sub 57 seconds if it wasn't for that spin. Oh well. There's just about 2/3 of the race to try again. Score that fast lap. Bring up some pride. Looks like Wade has copped a penalty. And Ray's Pig, well, Ward, I should say, is, well, right behind him. Maybe it wasn't a penalty. Maybe it's more of a spin because Ando is a whole 8 seconds ahead. It's getting really close here. Let's go on board. Got a lapped car of Calypso in the way. Fast lapped car. 2 flags out. Very tricky conditions out there. Definitely conditions I wouldn't like to drive in, but I mean, it'd be a waste. It'd be a waste if it wasn't used at all, you know. I mean, Gran Turismo 7, probably the best, one of the best rain simulations out there. And it's hardly used. But, you know, it's good to have seen these cars out. These 13, 14 cars out. Oh good grief. That's not ideal. John Shepard. Didn't really pay attention to him for quite a bit, but he is last and very damaged. I suppose that's what happens when you don't keep it on track. well, when you don't survive, really. It is a tough track and tough conditions out there, so definitely very testing of the driver's capabilities. Very testing indeed. I must say though, in the past 3 races I don't think there's been a single safety car. I mean, the safety car, you know, it's even though it's in the pits, it's getting drenched, and Mr. Lancel, it's getting warm, and that's Mr. Jamandalit's disconnecting from the server. Maybe connection issues. That's unfortunate for its racing car. Retiring out of the race. Joining the safety car in the pits. Meanwhile, we haven't looked at Pat for a while. Pat Trappit. Still consistently circulating, and Pips, the fastest lap off Nicholas Patasso with a 57 flat. I mean, if this series was part of the Gran Turismo World Tour or something like that, then I'm sure Pat Trappit would definitely be up there with the esports drivers, because he is not putting a foot wrong. Not putting a foot wrong at all. With 18 laps. Oh, just as I say that, he gets really wiggly, pushing to the limit. And look at those rear tires. Even though Pat hasn't pitted yet, those rears are getting, well, a bit worn, a bit used, but I mean, not as much deg as you get in the dry with the dry compounds. I think they should be able to get through the race on a no stop, but I mean, Pat Trappit here, he can definitely afford a pit stop if he chooses to do so. Mr. Pat the Rain Dancer, indeed. Indeed, Mr. Safety Car Driver. Yeah, it just seems like that, you know, Pat Trappit, just like Max Verstappen, just, you know, just left the scene. It's just, you know, just Formula track stars, you know, racing hard, racing tough, and then it's just, you know, Pat Trappit, like, gone. Disappeared. Anyway, seems like Wade has recovered some pace after his mild spin a couple of laps ago, putting some distance to Ward, but still a 2-second gap. Well, 1.5 seconds as it stands. Hopefully there's some action to be had later on. Oh, I completely missed that. Mr. Patasso. 56.7. I mean, I'm not surprised. He was about to do a sub 57 until he spun it, and he's finally done it. 56.7. That's some unreal pace from a controller driver like Nick himself. And up into 7th, you know, not a bad recovery. Not a bad recovery, and we're only halfway through the race, so there's definitely more positions to be had for Patasso if he keeps it consistent like his teammate. Devon Calypso getting lapped there by Milky in the WRT car. Lot of, you know, big gaps. The racing is quite subdued. The field is quite spaced out. And John Shepard is still driving with that damage. I'm surprised he hasn't boxed yet. Although it looks like he's on auto drive, so maybe AFK for the moment. May AFK so he can get classified in the end. Pat Trafford with a 56.7. Seems like it's a qualifying session between the Mash Spud Racing drivers. After all, they did lock out the front row. Not surprised they are having a strong showing of pace. And of course, in Formula Trackstars Racing, if you're the leader, you cannot use that overtake button. Otherwise, you will be penalized for the amount of time you use the overtake button for whilst in P1. And, well, Pat hasn't used it once, and he is a whole 26 seconds ahead of the next car. It is quite baffling, the pace that this young man is pulling out tonight. Respectable plate, quite the respectable pace from O'Shea. You know, consistent 58s, dabbing in the 57s a bit. But not enough to keep that gap closed tight between him and Trappit. Ando, he's dropped back a bit. He was 2 seconds behind O'Shea when I last checked in on him. Now he's 4.3. Consistently in the 58s, and looks like he's picking up the pace now, whilst we're just about halfway through the race distance. Dumping that overtake on the main straight. into T1. Lovely sweeping corner. Oh, looks like Wade is in the pits. Now he doesn't have damage, but I'm assuming he's gonna box for another set of wets. Yep, fresh set of sticker wets. Not sure if that was a good call, but I guess we'll find out in 21 laps time. Looks like Nick Patasso up to P6. It's gaining places here and there. Could possibly gain a place on Wade with his colder wet tires. Another thing that we should probably check out is fuel. Oh, Ando. Oh no, that's Ando with front wing and right front suspension damage, and he's lost a heap of time to O'Shea, from 4 seconds all the way down to 17 seconds off O'Shea, and you'll definitely have to pit. You'll have to pit. Seems like both of the WTCR cars having to pit halfway through the race. And that promotes Race Pig up to the podium for RSR. Definitely a big theme of tonight is survival. And if you're slow and stay on the track, I think you'll have a good chance of doing well tonight. And oh my, what on earth? A 1:55.8. That's like a whole. That's a whole 1 second quicker than the fastest lap that was put before this fastest lap of the race. Wow. Nick Patasso, number 32, MSR car, putting the hammer down. He's had enough. He wants to gain places. He will push. Probably has a chance to catch the WTCR pair. Although, not sure how long those wet tires of Spuds will last for. They are a bit worn, but still manageable if you don't spin out. It's quite close between 4th, 5th and 6th. Probably the closest battle on track right now. Spud with the alien pace, indeed. It's hard to believe that you can be so quick on a controller. I mean, I guess you can be quick on either wheel, ball controller in this Simcade title. It's quite the feat. Looks like someone's in the mud. Who's in the mud? It's the ISO car that's in the mud. Probably another lap down. And looks like Ando is using traction control. I mean, even though these cars normally wouldn't have traction control, it is available nonetheless. And you know, gotta use all the tools that's available in your arsenal. Especially in treacherous conditions like these, it's probably best to have traction control on to survive and make through that distance. Although if you do have traction control on, you're definitely missing out on that pace. Missing on that potential speed, that potential acceleration out of the corners. I mean, look at the time that Spud gains out of the corners. Less than a second. Maybe we'll follow Patasso on board for a bit. Although, looks like Wade is back in the pits. Probably damage ICU. Whole half a minute behind Spud. Spud overtaking lapped traffic into the hairpin, gaining a 10th, gaining another 10th. Yeah, when you don't have TC on, you can definitely feel the pace, but at the same time, it's very dangerous. It's very dangerous. With great power comes great danger, I suppose. Great danger of spinning out. There's sliding across, hard on the brakes. Activating that ABS. That wouldn't exist on this Super Formula car, but does anyway. Oh. That wing is under that gearbox. It's very close. Keeping touching distance. Spud is definitely turning things around in 5th place. And meanwhile, Pat Trappett. 57s, dabbling in the 56s. Whole 38 seconds ahead of 2nd place. I mean, he's practically got a free pit stop. And there's, you know, nothing stopping him from doing so. It's quite terrifying. They can just pull out a gap like that. Anyway, this is probably the closest action you'll get on track for the moment. It's very close. Less than a second in it between Ando and Spa. Oh no! Maybe I should just stop watching Pitasso, you know. Maybe he'll do better if I stop watching him. I mean, that spin was brutal, but definitely not surprising with those worn wet tires. And when you're pushing the car to insane paces like that, I mean, yeah, not surprising at all. You know, tires get worn, tires get cooked, spin out, and our leader is taking my advice and taking that free pit stop. Pulling out the old wet tires and putting in a new set. Now Shay following Pat into the pit lane, although he might be in danger or not as Ward comes into the pit lane as well. Although Ward might be in danger of being undercut by Ando, as Ando comes back onto the podium. Fresh set of wets for Spud. And what is the complexion of the field? So it's Pat Trappit with a second lead. O'Shea in the CP Motorsports car. Ando rounding out the podium in the WTCR car. Fourth, Ward in the RSR car. Pitasso on a good comeback. 5th place. Breda, the fast European, in 6th place. On Duve, pretty close behind in 7th. Milky, 8th place. And his old mate, ninth place. Doppelganger, American Matt Campbell in 10th. Car 1 in 11th. Car 2 in 12th. John Shepard, 13th. And only retiree of the race is Jamin Dalit after a disconnection in, well, what would be 14th. We'll go on board with Pat Trappett as I get a refreshment, rest my voice a bit. This is probably the most I've talked all day. I'll be back. Well, doesn't look like nothing much has changed. Pat Trappett still with a rather insane lead. 42 seconds. Just keeps going up. Seems like the gaps have just increased. It's rather spacious out there. Nothing too close, nothing too personal. Everything just seems pretty spaced out. Oh, Pat with a slide right there. well, Pat's definitely surviving, but he's also thriving. And he looks like he's on for a good lap. I might go on board with him. If he beats that 55.6 set by Nick Tasso, then, well, that would be something else. Not quite the fast lap, but still quick, despite not using a single drop of overtaking. It's really impressive. I mean, I don't think we'll need a vote for driver of the day. I think whatever happens to Pat, he's definitely been dominant. Only 3/3 of the way through the race, 10 laps to go. It's just really impressive. I mean, O'Shea is down in the 57s now, but too little, too late. Although he is, well, somewhat consistent. He is slowly going quicker. Ando, however, he's very consistent. I mean, you know, consistent 57s, popping a 58 here and there. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Ando somehow managed to catch back up the back of O'Shea again within these 10 laps. I mean, the lap times, they are close. But I think, it's really hard to tell. I mean, one thing that you can tell is the gap between O'Shea and Ando is definitely dropping. Meanwhile, Ward in the middle of no man's land, like most other cars on track at the moment, and in the middle of the AstroTurf as well. Not really a place you want to go though, being sucked in by the AstroTurf off the racing line. You lose a lot of time if you get that terribly wrong. Although Tasso, he is putting in those really quick times, like seriously quick. I mean, like, it's really quick. And looks like we have a possible track invader. Oh, never mind. The track invader is off the track, out of the server. All is good. Spud is really pushing out there. I mean, he should be if he wants any chance of getting a decent position, getting a decent place after falling far from grace at the start of the race. Bars. But yeah, he's definitely putting in really quick laps. I mean, if it wasn't for that big off at the start, I think he would definitely be in the running to have a one-on-one with Pat Trappett. But, well, hasn't really turned out that way. But another purple sector. Will it be a 55.4? Possibly. He is glowing red above the airbox, meaning low overtake, and doesn't look like he got the fastest lap there, but still a 55 nonetheless, which is awfully rapid. Oh, one of the icy cars there, rolling backwards out of turn 1. Can't really park there, but I'm sure you'll get back on track in no time. And with the rapid pace, Batasso is definitely catching Ward over here. I mean, 58s versus 55s. I mean, that's an easy 3 seconds a lap there. I mean, I'm assuming by the end of this lap, Spud will be right behind Ward here, and we'll hopefully have a exciting battle on our hands as well. Although it might just, you know, go Spud's way and he'll make it boring and fly past Ward like it's nothing. But we'll find out within the lap. Yeah, Spud definitely making the track look like it's dry with that pace. But Pat with a whole 52... Oh, hang on. I missed something here. Looks like O'Shea has had a bit of a spin. And that's promoted Ando up to P2. Ando, he's definitely surviving out there, putting in those consistent laps. Although, I mean, having traction control on definitely makes it easier. What's more impressive is Pat, a whole 52 seconds out there now, with O'Shea out. Well, I mean, he wasn't really in the picture for the victory, but he definitely is now. With only 6 more laps to go, Pat Trappett can easily cruise if he wanted to, but I think he'll want to go for that fastest lap. I mean, what is it? Even though you're not allowed to use overtake whilst in the lead, the penalty for using overtake whilst in the lead is 1 second for every 1 second of use with overtake. So, I mean, if you could tactically use overtake to his advantage and maybe nab that fast lap off Patasso. But I guess you'll want to play it safe anyway, so... Well, something exciting. And hopefully something good for Spud to happen. As you have another track invader joining the room. Nick Patasso. 40 and purple sectors. Ward having a bit of a slide. The move is definitely on something here. My guess would be out of the hairpin into spoon, possibly, although it'd be a lot safer if Spud made the move out of the back straight. Possibly after 130R. Oh, that's a big snap oversteer from Ward. And like that, Spud easily takes away 4th place. Stealing candy from a baby, indeed. There wasn't even any competition. It was too easy for Spud. Although, with all that rapid driving, Spud is glowing red. It's going red on that overtake, as Ward definitely has a lot of overtake at his disposal. Of course, racing in place of Rusty, who's, well, having wheel problems. His peripherals not working properly, and so stepping aside for the time being, while Ward, the rapid F2 driver, taking his place in the 22 RSR car. I mean, 38 laps of 43, that's about 5 more laps. Will Spud be able to close in that 12-second gap in 5 laps? It very much is possible. I mean, his pace, around 56s, O'Shea's pace, very inconsistent here and there, 57s, spin, 56, 57. Whew. I mean, if O'Shea has another spin, then Patasso is definitely there for the taking. And Ando, dabbling in the 56s, but mainly 57s, 58s. I mean, if he keeps at the 58s, O'Shea might catch up at the back of him, but will there be enough time for O'Shea to make a move to gain back that second spot? He was holding for quite the majority of this race, really. It's definitely closer than what it was quite a while ago, between, well, 2nd to 5th at least. Meanwhile, down the field, nothing much to report on. It's all very spaced out. You know, 1 minute gaps, 6 minute gaps, 14-minute gaps. It's very difficult. Although, probably something that isn't difficult for for Pat is these conditions, because he is, well, what can I say, a whole 56 seconds ahead, comfortably leading, and hasn't used a single drop of overtake. And look at that, commentator's curse. But I mean, will that really hurt him? Maybe not. Maybe 10 seconds lost there. Maybe another 20 in the pits. Pat can definitely afford those mistakes after quite the insane consistency that he brought upon those last 39 laps until now. Ward definitely losing touch with the podium places. Spud definitely getting in touch with those podium places. That gap between O'Shea and Spud was about 12 seconds when I last checked, and now it's down to 8. And of course, Spud, thinking that the track is dry, post another 55, and he's going even quicker. My goodness, 3/10 up in that purple sector. Whoa, absolutely on the limit. Spud is definitely going all out, and I must say, quite the respectable recovery drive as well. Oh, barely a slither left in his overtake. Probably gonna empty it all out. Oh, my guesstimate, probably a 55.2, or even possibly, oh, a 54. My, oh my, oh my days. Nick Patasso, I mean, what he lacks for consistency, he definitely makes up in pace. Oh wow, a 54.9. I mean, he definitely used what was left of his overtake for that lap. I mean, and he's pulled a whole 4 seconds ahead of Ward in the RSR car. I mean, properly rapid in these dying stages of the Japanese Grand Prix Round 3 of Formula Track Stars. That gap is closing rapidly between O'Shea and Patasso. It's certainly very close between second to fourth. Although I'm not sure if it'll be close enough in 2 laps time. Which is a shame, because well, for the majority of this race, it was quite the parade. besides the start, of course, but yeah, when the gaps grew and there was, you know, a slug train in the wet, it got a bit, you know, a bit boring, but I mean, definitely some spins there, some incidents, but I mean, the racing, it's been clean, but I mean, that's mainly because they haven't been close enough to race against each other, but I digress from that point, and the gap between O'Shea and Spud, it's down to 3 seconds. I mean, Spud compared to O'Shea is lapping about 2 seconds quicker a lap, so I mean, it's gonna be down to the wire for this last lap for sure. Ando, oh, Ando, he's been caught up by a lapped car. Oh, he spun it. Oh no, that's O'Shea through the second as they cross for the final lap, and that's Matasso back on the podium after spinning out and coming back from the back of the field in last. Oh no, that's really rough for Ando. I mean, it looked like that lapped RSR car got in the way of Ando, and he's probably fuming under that helmet. But, oh, it's definitely close. O'Shea has some overtaken the tank left, but Spud is definitely gaining nonetheless. O'Shea definitely probably saving that overtake for the back straight towards the end of the lap. But in the meantime, that's Pat Trafford taking the win. Round 3 Suzuka Grand Prix. I mean, wow, it's been dominant from him all race long. I mean, a couple of spins, but he could afford those spins because he was so quick, so consistent, and he survived in the end. Meanwhile, O'Shea applying the rest of his overtake. Spud, it's close. It's certainly close, but O'Shea is losing the rest of his overtake. Oh, less than a second between second and third. Look at that. O'Shea, oh, he's getting it crossed up. It's neck and neck to the line. Oh, O'Shea just pips out in second, ahead of Pitasso. Ando coming around the final corner in fourth. Probably fuming, because he definitely was in for second there. Definitely a shame. But nonetheless, another solid performance in the WTCR car. And Ward, 7 seconds adrift from that bell pack, makes it home in 5th. And I mean, the top 5 being within the lead lap, I mean, credit to them. Wade Von Duve, 6th place, Milky 7th, Radar 8th, Old Man, Old Mate 9th, Imposter Matt Campbell 10th, Isaacar 1 11th, Isaacar 2 12th, John Shepard 13th, Kids Racing retired 14th. Pat Trappett with the victory, with Neil the Cat on his back, winning the Japanese Grand Prix. Impressive stuff from him. And, you know, quite the race, I must say. Even though it was tricky conditions, even though it was a parade, it was still interesting nonetheless. And I mean, no doubt, Pat Trappett definitely drove the day, taking home that dominant win. I mean, but his teammate, nonetheless, impressing me quite a bit, bringing it back onto the podium from dropping out from second to the back at the end of the first lap of the race. But I mean, there's your results. Jam Dalit, unfortunate disconnection. Another rough day for the Hits Racing cars, but no safety car intervention, surprisingly. I mean, there's not a lot of safety cars these days anyway, but that's it from me, Luox22, or my real name, Luke Hayden. That's it from me tonight. Enjoy your night. See you at the next round of Formula Track Stars.